Hello friends of the electrified charging fun and welcome to Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Škoda's e-mobility. My name is Matthias and with me here is an Enyaq Facelift Coupé. I'm here in Lipno in southern Czech Republic and Škoda invited me to test the Enyaq Facelift. We already had the SUV here on the channel, now it's time to have a review of the Coupé, to check it in every detail. And it's rather cold this morning here, it's -5 degrees, but the car is defrosted so we can do a good testing. And afterwards you might better know whether you go with an SUV or with the Enyaq Coupé and what is the right choice for you. So here we go. It's still frosty on the meadows, the sun is rising, the birds are chirping here at the Lipno Sea and really fitting therefore the color of our Coupé in a frosty white. You see the white color very often on the street and most of the time it's boring, but with that Coupé, which is a Sportline, it looks gorgeous. Believe me, these black glossy accents with the white, the contrast is awesome. And just let's have a look around. And if you see this in the side, we've got 20-inch rims with winter tires here. Because it's a Sportline, everything is painted down here, but despite the fact that at the SUV you've got these dark chrome accents, with the Coupé this is always in the body color, no matter the Sportline or not. But what the Sportline brings to you is this black glossy finish here on the windows, which is awesome in comparison, in the contrast to the white color. Now let's move around. And since everything is black right now, even the Sportline logo is black. It is a really good fit. Also, when you see that we have that big black roof above, which also is black. Well, no changes there, of course. And yes, it's still a bit frosty, the car. So yeah, we had -12 degrees last night. But what really makes this car the facelift is the front. Because the front is a completely new design. And when you look at it, the tech deck really suits the Coupé well. And we've got the illuminated tech deck here. And we've got the daylights up here segmented. You've got these 4 segments here. And a bit below, you've got the normal headlights and the matrix LED. Then you've got the completely redesigned grille in front of it, which also looks a bit different compared to the SUV because the lower part here is different. And I really like the lower part on the Coupé way more than on the SUV. And this is the face which really suits a Coupé. And then we've got the leather mark again here and it's black. That is awesome. And they did a small change to this hood here. Because back in the days this was more standing out, this line. So it went up here a bit and down there. Now it's completely even on this side and is only falling down. A minor change with a big difference. More changes on the front? No, you've still got that big windscreen, you've got the glass roof. And when you look at the side also, not so many changes. Well, one little one. And this is this application here, this one here. Well, you sometimes got the RS logo on it or the Sportline. You see, no Sportline here. And now it's only glossy black. No more ripples or stuff. It's way smoother and I think it fits better to the car. And when we come to the rear, well, not so many changes, right? Because we already know that rear from the pre-facelift. On the back, yes, as I already said, you've got the change here with the Sportline logo, it's a new one, and a little change at the tail lights, because now it's segmented too. You've got these 4 segments. Back before this was one and this was one segment. But overall, this is how I imagine a Coupé should look like. Yes, I know it has 4 doors and the traditional Coupé simply would have 2, but that is how the Coupé should look. And from my personal opinion, this is the front the Coupé deserves. Way better than the old crystal face. Time to have a look at the interior. Since it is a Sportline, we have the Sportline interior. There's only one available. And the Sportline interior comes with those fake carbon parts up here. Then this handlebar now is matte. It is no longer glossy chrome, and you already see it with the direct sunlight coming in, no more reflections. And this is really a great improvement. Then we've got quality material up here and here, yet here this is hard plastic as in the pre-facelift. No more changes to the door. You've got that big pocket here where you can fit in a 1.5 liter bottle, and it's going way down there for your warning jacket. And when we now look at the Sportline seating here, well, this looks really great. With this gray finish stitching here, you have a really neutral color which will fit perfectly to every exterior color, and this is quite handy. So now let's hop in and have a look at the details of the cockpit. Again, you've got that fake carbon here everywhere, and again, these applications here and down here are all matte, no longer glossy, no more reflections. Big improvement. Really great. And well, let's first come to the steering wheel. There are no big changes here. I've got the letter mark instead of the logo. And again on the steering wheel, this improvement is so great to have all this in matte finish. No other changes here. When you look through the cockpit, it's more or less the same with the same display, the same cockpit display. But one difference is, since we are in a coupe, you don't see as much in the rear mirror, or when you directly look to the rear outside as with the SUV because of the sloping rear, but still it's not bad for a coupe. And if you look down here, you see this also is now in a matte finish, no more glossy parts, and this is so great. No more changes here. Else than down there where the USB ports are. And those two down there, those USB-C ports now have 45 watts shared. So if you have two devices plugged in, 22.5 for each. But this is way more than the 15 watts before. Here is the cooled, and here is the cooled place for your smartphone. Now you can really use wireless charging way better than before. And of course, you've got something which the SUV doesn't. You already see it here. By the way, with direct sunlight coming from behind, the big glass roof, which is awesome, but you have to say this big glass roof is a fixed roof. You don't have any options to control it. You can't open it, and there is no sunshade built in. If you want a sunshade, you can buy it as an accessory. First, try it without and see if you really need that sunshade. And for me, still, this interior is perfectly fine. No need for a lot of changes. So they did not a lot of changes in the facelift, and I'm fine with that. Now let's have a look at the back seat. Talking about the back, the rear seats, well, first the door again, no changes here made. Again, that fake carbon here, that matte finish. You've got the sunshades up here in the car, which are really handy. If you look inside, yeah, the Sportline optic is really great. This is great material. The stitching looks great. I really like how it is. Of course, you can fold this one here down. Got some cup holders here. And now let's hop in. And the seat is now set to a person of 1.80 m, not 1.74 m like me. I put it a bit more back. And this is what you have as legroom. This is a lot. And even if the seat is all the way back, you have a comfort seating back here. In front of you there are two pockets for magazines and stuff, and here for your smartphone. On the other side as well, because you can plug them in down there. Down there you see are two USB ports. Let's go a bit closer. These again 45 watts. But what you don't see is on the right side the 230 volt outlet, because it's gone. Before I talk about that, there you have the climatization for the rear seats, and down here you have that little box. You can remove it for more leg space and put stuff in here, as well as you have the cup holders in here. Talking about the rear seat and the coupe, what about headspace? Well, you're sitting directly beneath this glass roof, so there is plenty of headroom, way more than you would expect from a coupe. 1.90 m here on the rear seat, well, that works out. 2 meters? I don't know. But this is a lot, because they spare all this space here, and this is great. Also, what is great is the view from behind. That big glass roof you've got, and when you look from here, you see all the sky, and then you look all the way to the front. And by the way, looking to the front, this is one view I like the most, because from here you see the beauty of the cockpit. And for me, it's nearly a bit timeless, because it's a great cockpit to sit in and to steer the car. So give it a try and do a test drive, because it's worth it. Now let's talk about the boot or the trunk. And this is always a bit special when you have a coupe, because you lose, due to the sloping rear, a bit of space. Now let's see how this works out with a Enyaq Coupé. And as you can see, there's plenty of room, 570 liters. I would say they could come up with a better solution than this classic cover here, which suits better, but it is how it is. So let's take it this way. Well, no matter. And this car comes here with a transport package. You don't have to order it, but if you order it, well, you have a box down here. Let's have a closer look at this little box in here. And here you go. You can put in a lot of stuff, but also you've got this box down here. And here, there's plenty of room. When you have the Canton sound system, you lose half of it, this one here. This is not built in if you don't have the Canton sound system, so you have way more space in here. On the other side here, you've got the Type 2 cable. You've got some simply clever features like these hangers here. You've got two more over there. And you have the easy foldable rear seats from here, which is also kind of nice. And another very important feature is here, the 12-volt outlet. Because if you don't have that outlet here, you would have no option for a fridge or something in the back, because you're lacking the 230-volt socket in the front. If you want to transport a bit more stuff, you might want to get rid of this cover, which is kind of easy. You can simply get it out of the car. But what to do with the cover? Well, maybe you have already noticed those notches here. That's exactly what you can do. Just bring it back to the rear, and your cover is stored, so you can make use of the whole boot, and the cover is also on board. Since we are here on this parking lot, we can look at the turn circle of this rear-wheel drive car. If you are interested in the turning circle of the all-wheel drive version, just head over to my SUV video. Let that parking spot be 12 meters in width. I don't know, I'm not good at estimating ranges, but see here, it doesn't matter. See just here how this car turns. You have a more narrow turn circle for a rear-wheel drive car than for an all-wheel drive, because there is no engine at the front axle. But look at this. And now we are already at the same spot before. Let's do another one, so you can see when we only do a 180-degree turn where we are on that parking spot. And you will see that we are just a bit out of the middle out of it. Just a bit out of the middle. This is awesome for such a car. You have the feeling that you're turning on point. You're not doing this, of course, but this is so great for such a large car. Driving test with the Enyaq Coupé, the rear-wheel drive 85, so 210 kilowatts of power. I'm here now in a small city driving 50. The travel assist is activated. It's already steering quite well. So we can test how good is the lane assist with the automatic steering, how good is the road sign recognition, and every other assistant and everything we do here. So now let's see how good is hand recognition. Will it notice that my hands are in different positions on the steering wheel, all that stuff. There is the city limits, and it states it's 70, not 90 as normal on Czech country roads. Let's see, yes, it already knows it will be 70, and it's accelerating. And look at the road marks here. They are in a really bad condition. You barely see the middle marking. Sometimes on the right there is no marking, yet the Enyaq knows them pretty well. And it's steering on its own. Yes, I have my hands on the steering wheel. I could directly do something and interrupt the car, but I don't have to. It knows what it's doing here. That's great. That's great experience. Yes, in front of me there's another Enyaq facelift. So you have a better view instead of some other brand. Now it says 50, and yes, we see there are the city limits of the next city. We are entering it right now, and at the sign we are at 50. Perfect. Now it says 30 ahead, and again, he is right. There is a 30 sign. It's braking. Perfect. Now you see here a small bend, going through the bend. No problem at all. I'm only holding the steering wheel, and you don't hear the hand recognition warning about put your hands on the wheel. So now it says there will be the city limits, and already it says 90. Let's see how the acceleration will do. And here we go. Nice. So until now, everything is fine. You see now it's recognizing a bend ahead here, braking itself so that it's easier to drive through the bend. Now it recognizes 70 ahead. Yes, this is how it should be. And braking, recognizing 50. Yes. Steering on its own through the bend. That is what I call a travel assist. What about the agility, the dynamics of the driving? Well, we have the rear-wheel drive version here with 210 kilowatts, all on the rear axle. In front of us, I already drove that SUV is an 85X, and this has the same power, 210 kilowatts, but more torque because it has the front engine. Now here, let's see, we can go to 90. Let's go out a bit dynamic, and yes, there is power, and you feel that power, and it's great to feel that power. But there's a difference. When you really do pedal to the metal, you feel that the more torque of the all-wheel drive gives you a bit more of dynamic driving, a bit more of speed. You feel that. One difference, of course, when you have the all-wheel drive version, when you come into a critical situation and the car could interact with the front wheel motor as well, you got a bit more of safety, whilst here with the rear-wheel drive you don't have it. But if you don't need it, you don't have to opt in for all-wheel drive. Another thing might be that you're asking, but what about charging power? Well, there's a difference between the 85X and the 85, but just look in the chapter of the charge test from this video and you know what I mean. Of course, when doing a review, you do a charge test. We have the optimum charging capability of 127. Here we are down to 10% SOC, and we are here at the Solar Sky Park, which has 11 LP-tronic 300 kilowatts chargers. So this is perfect for going from 10 to 80. The charging is done, and here you go. It's a bit odd charging curve, but we managed to charge around 57 kilowatt hours in not 29 minutes and 51. It was 29 and 16 when it hits 80. So this is just the ramp down of the charger. This is not a bad value, especially this is 135 kilowatts charging capability Enyaq, and therefore, yeah, a minute more than the manufacturer states, but I guess that is okay. The Enyaq Facelift Coupé, we now see the biggest difference of this car compared to the SUV. It's the sloping shape at the rear. Yes, it has a bit lower consumption, and in this configuration as an 85, a slower charging curve. Yes, we didn't manage 28 minutes, but 29 minutes, but it was still a good result. But talking about the design, the new modern solid front suits the Coupé really well. Much better in my opinion than the old crystal face. With the SUV we could debate about, but with this car, no discussion needed for me. It's a really great looking car, and the software version 5.4 is really worth it. It's a great software, and you can listen to someone who started out with the very first software version 2 on the Enyaq, and between 2 and 5.4 it's only 4 years. But it's way more than that. This is a whole new world, a whole new level. Assistance systems working flawlessly in that car. So for me, a well-rounded package, a good facelift. It's a modern car, it's a good EV car, if you're starting out with EVs or if you're switching over to one, pay attention to this car if this is something you are looking for. It's not the shortest car with 4.65 meters and not the biggest as well. So a well-rounded package. And if you think that this video is also a well-rounded package, well, then please give it a thumbs up. Consider to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, so you do not miss out any new Enyaq facelift content. And a big shout out and thanks to all my supporters who make videos like this possible. And I hope I see you in the next one. And until then, stay full of energy.